My name is Samantha Johnson. I did the BS-MS program studying bioengineering with a concentration in biomechanics. When I was a sophomore, I took a sign language class, and part of the class was to go out and interact with the deaf community. And in that, I met a woman named Lucy, and I asked her, how would you communicate if an interpreter wasn't present? And she mentioned that she really wasn't able to communicate very effectively without the use of an interpreter. And I immediately had the idea to create a sign language robot, having no background in robotics whatsoever. For whatever reason, I really didn't think it was going to be that hard, which I was very quickly wrong. So I started Googling, looking into open source technologies, understanding how are they programmed, what kind of servos, how do you even run a servo? And I created my apartment into a working studio with soldering station on the right, 3D printers, the whole mess. So TATUM, which stands for Tactile ASL, Translational Use Machine, is a robotic arm that signs tactile sign language. We can type in a word and then it will cause the required servos to spin and cause the motions in the hand, or it can actually pull from text-based mediums. So the goal for this is that it would integrate into a mainstream communication device, anything like email, SMS, Twitter, an ebook, and it would give the deafblind user access to these communication methods.
Deafblind individuals receive communication primarily by touch. And one of the things that became apparent really early on during the design process was that we had to make the robotic arm as close as possible to the feeling of a human hand.
Getting the influx of feeling, emotion, how is it going to convey that? Like when I'm signing to a deafblind person, I am actually giving off feeling in that hand. They can pick it up. They tell what type of a mood I'm in even.
Sign language, as any other language, has an alphabet, which is what we've mostly been focused on. But sign language is so much more than that. It is a whole language. There are dialects, there are regional differences. We don't want to take away from that or try to make it more like English in any way. We want to make sure that we're doing tactile sign language right. So we're spending a lot of time trying to understand the grammatical patterns and understand how we would really interpret English text to be sign language.
The one thing that Samantha and I discussed from the beginning is that these should not be a pure academic exercise. And so we really valued the feedback from the community, and we couldn't get to this point without that feedback.
Jaimi's awesome. No letter is ever perfect enough. Like, she will know exactly where the thumb should be. Even though she understands it, she's like, that's not perfect. Let's make sure it's perfect. Which I think is excellent, especially in this beginning prototyping phase. We don't want to do anything only halfway. We want to make sure it's absolutely right and completely comprehensible. She's so excited about the project, which gives us great momentum to move forward.
I do think that this project is kind of the epitome of experiential learning. It's really taking engineering principles and putting it to design a product that it's meant for the outside world.
One of the great things about this project is really how it does accumulate everything that I've learned at Northeastern. It took from my elective class sign language, it pulls in biomechanics and things I learned on my co-ops to produce a product that people are excited about. My name is Samantha Johnson, and this is my narrative.